Hello friends, welcome to this new class. I hope you are all following the classes, reading your textbooks and trying to get the maximum knowledge input that we can get. So don't just keep it for last moment, try to learn your daily lessons and try to understand it, try to follow it. Otherwise, at the end, it will be too heavy burden for you, and you will be disappointed and you will be struggling. So, in order to avoid such kind of difficulties, try to read your lessons daily and try to follow the classes. So today we have been following about the different type of soils that are found in India, and for today we will study about the arid soil. Arid means dry soil. So in many places in India the rain is very less, therefore the soils are very dry. We cannot do proper cultivation there. We can follow in your textbook page number 10. So arid soils range from red to brown in color. So some places they are red in color, some places they are brown. So there is no much difference in color, red or brown. Then they are generally sandy in texture. So what is the nature of this arid soil? They are sandy, sand. So they contain a lot of sand. Because of that, we know the sand cannot retain water. So because of this sandy nature, the soil is always dry. Then in some areas the salt content is very high. So in this not only sand is, but there are also salt is there. So in this sandy soil, lot of salt content also is there. And sometimes people collect the salt. How do the people make salt? I hope you know the process. They make the sea water stagnant in one place, and after a few days the water will get evaporated and the salt will remain there. So that is a simple method of making salt. So here people living in this arid soil, since the soil is containing a lot of salt, what do? They try to gather the water there and try to make it evaporate, and then they collect the salt. So same method they follow. So just as the sea water is containing salt, this arid soil also is containing salt. So all the lakes in this place, they will have salty water. So if they evaporate that water, they can get a lot of salt. And due to dry climate, high temperature, evaporation is faster and the soil lacks humus and moisture. So this place the soil is very dry because the temperature is very high, the climate is very dry and temperature is very high. So because of this dry climate and high temperature, what happens? The evaporation is very fast. Water is evaporating, getting disappeared. And therefore the soil lacks humus and moisture. So the place where there is rainfall, we will find the top layer is filled with grass. The grass starts growing. That is a sign of humus. But if you go to this area where there is a dry soil or arid soil, you will find humus is not there. Can you say the reason why humus are not found there or moisture is not found there? So humus is formed by small bacteria that are active there, making biocompost and so on. So this temperature is very high, therefore these small organisms like bacteria and other creatures cannot survive there, they will just die. because temperature is very high. They cannot survive in this high temperature. So because of this death of all these bacteria and other small creatures, the humus is not formed there. They cannot survive because of high temperature, and therefore this arid soil we will find there is no humus at all and no moisture. Top part is always dry, not wet. So if it were to be wet, then humus would have formed. And the lower horizons of the soil are occupied by kangar because of the increasing calcium content downwards. So if you go downside the arid soil, lower part, if you dig deeper to reach down, what will you find? You will find the soil called kangar, or the element called kangar. What is kangar? We have studied earlier also when we are talking about the northern plains. So the kangar is the element that is containing calcium. So a lot of calcium contents are there in this arid soil that is very below this earth's surface. So remember, that is, the soil is occupied by kangar, that is elements or minerals containing calcium. And the kangar layer formation in the bottom horizons restrict the infiltration of water. So this kangar layer or the calcium minerals, they prevent the infiltration of water. So they block the layer which is down under the earth. They block the water. The water cannot go down to the earth. Because of that, the area remains dry. So if that kangar is not there, water can go deeper and deeper, and the ground level water can increase, and that will make the earth more wet, the soil more wet. But because of the presence of this kangar, the water is not infiltrated. It is not going down. That is another problem. So after proper irrigation, these soil become cultivable, and has been the case of Western Rajasthan. Since the population of the world is increasing, or population of India is increasing, we need more and more land for cultivation. Therefore, though this arid soil is not very suitable for cultivation because it is always dry, but if you provide water, that is, if you provide irrigation facility, then even this water can be turned into a fertile land for cultivation. And that is what the people of Rajasthan, Western Rajasthan, has done. So it is closer to the desert and they have this arid soil, but they have converted that arid soil, that dry soil, into cultivable land, farmland. How did they manage? They manage it because of they provided water, they provided irrigation. So with the help of irrigation, here also cultivation is possible. So it is possible, we say, because we have proved it in the western part of the Rajasthan. So that is all about the arid soil. So how it is formed, why it is formed, and so on. Then the content of soil is there. The down part, there is a layer called kangar layer, and so on. It is all important. So remember these important terms and try to underline it and learn it. Then another type of soil is called forest soil. So from the name itself we can understand where it will be found. So forest soil. Where will the forest soil be found? It will be in the forest, isn't it? So these soils are found in the hilly areas and mountainous areas where sufficient rainforests are available. So this kind of soil is found in the hilly regions or mountainous regions where there is plenty of rainfall. We know where there is plenty of rainfall, lot of forest will be there. If forest has to grow well, then there should be enough rainfall. So on the mountain tops and hill tops, they receive lot lot of rainfall and lot of forests are there. So the soil is different there because of this rainfall, high rainfall. So the soil texture varies according to the mountain environment where they are found. So all the mountains in India, they do not have same type of soil. There is differences there in the soil that are found from one mountain to another mountain, and they are depending on the mountain environment. The environment in the mountain, is it rocky or is it very cold, is it very hot? So the environment of that area, accordingly the soil is formed there. They are loamy and silty valley sides and coarse grain in the upper slopes. So if you go to the valley side, that is the bottom side of the mountain, the lower level of the mountain, what kind of soil you will find? You will find that they are loamy. Loamy means soil mixed with sand and silt. That is called loamy. Sand and clay, you can say. The sand and clay mixed together, they form loamy soil. But in the upper side of the mountain, the top part of the mountain, you will find that they are coarse grains. They are grain like sand. They are coarse, very hard, not soft. Down part they will find very soft clay, but top part of the mountain we find very coarse, very hard or very rough soil. So they are forest soil, but upside it is very hard one, a rough one, but downside it is loamy, very soft, mixed with sand and clay. Clay, you know, very soft, like paddy field, and so what we find is clay, that is very soft. Once it is mixed with water, it becomes very soft. In the snow covered areas of Himalayas, so Himalaya, we know, top part of the Himalaya is always throughout the year covered with snow. So their soils experience denudation and are acidic with low humus content. So this soil, the top of the Himalayan mountain, where these areas are, or the soil is covered with snow always, what happened? They experience denudation. They experience denudation. What is the meaning of denudation? It is the movement or removal of the cover, the top part. So the snow is there, and therefore as the snow is falling down, the top part of the soil also is removed, washed away. And this soil also is containing a lot of acidic taste. Lot of acidic elements are there, acid elements are there in this soil on Mount Himalaya. The soils found in the lower parts of the valleys, particularly on the river terraces, are alluvial fans are fertile. So as this mountain, from the mountain top, the rivers are carrying a lot of soil down towards the valley, and they deposit there, especially in the northern plain. And that is what kind of soil the rivers are bringing down? Alluvial soil. And alluvial soil, we know, it is very fertile and good for cultivation. That's why the farmers are staying there in the northern plain. The northern plain is overcrowded because of the people trying to cultivate there and get good harvest. So because the soil is very good, they know if they cultivate there, the cultivation is going to be successful there. So that makes them to rush there, try to get some land there and try to cultivate there, try to produce the crops there. So that is the soil that is coming down from top of the Mount Himalaya. So we learned two types of soils today, arid soil and forest soil. So about arid soil, we saw it is a very dry soil, and it becomes dry because that area has got very less rainfall. And If you dig down deep, we will find there is a Kanka layer is there, that is containing a lot of calcium, and this Kanka layer is preventing the water to sink down too deep under the earth. So it remains there, and because it's a very hot region, all the water remains on top layer only, not going down because of the Kanka layer, and in this heat it is getting evaporated very fast and it disappears and the soil remains dry. And if you provide irrigation there, water, if you make it available, we said even this arid soil can be converted into a cultivable land, farm land, and we saw the example in the western Rajasthan. They have provided irrigation facilities there and people started farming there with the help of irrigation. Then forest land we saw it is mostly found in the mountainous regions or in the hills, and these mountainous places the trees are growing very well because of the abundant rainfall that they receive. But the soil throughout the mountain is not the same. The top part of the mountain we will find the soil is very hard, very coarse, very rough, mixed with big rains. But at the same time, at the lower part of the mountain, at the foot hills, we find the soil is loamy, that is very soft, mixed with clay and sand. And if you go to Himalayan mountain, you will find it is always covered with ice, and therefore the melting of the snow and flowing down, it is causing a lot of denudation, the removing of the cover of the soil. The top part of the soil is washed away and it reaches down through the rivers at the foothills, and there it forms the alluvial farm, alluvial field, and which is very good for cultivation and so on. So these are the types of soil that we learn. And the next class we shall study about soil erosion, how the soil is getting eroded, how it is getting carried away to another place, and we will see what are the solutions that are available there as well. So today we shall wind up, and we will meet you in the next class again. Until then, bye.